What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades, and today we are starting a series of shorter, quick look review videos per viewer request for my more mentally challenged viewers that just cannot pay attention to a long run video. We're going to cut my normal run time down from 25 to 30 minutes to about 15 minutes. And if you cannot watch a 15-minute video about something that you supposedly love enough to watch a video on in the first place, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. Let's get started on the quick look videos with the Ka-Bar produced, Ethan Becker designed BK18 Harpoon fixed blade. Spoiler alert, I freaking love everything about this knife except for one thing, and it's the one thing I hate about all the Ethan Becker knives. That said, a little history first. My relationship with the Ethan Becker knives goes back, way back, probably about 20 years, to my first Becker, a BK7 I bought directly from Ethan Becker at Smoky Mountain Knife Works at an event. Ethan was there, and he's the one that sold me my first Becker knife. Way back when they were made by Camillus Knives, before Camillus went out of business in the United States. So now these knives, go forward 20 years or whatever, are made by Kabar in the United States. They are American made. This knife is an excellent value at well under $100. I picked up this black on black version at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. It was $89, I think, $87 or $89. And that is a stupendous deal on a well-made, American-made product that is a fantastic design. Let's set it aside, look very quickly at the packaging. We'll try to get it all in here. It is a slide-through box. You've got, let's see, information right here. Guys, this is all very big to get under the camera. I apologize. That's what you're looking for right there. Inside the box, you'll find the knife. Okay, these quick look videos, we're not getting into the packaging so much, but you've got the information you need to find it. So let's knock out these specs. This is on the sort of compact side of full size. You're looking at about a 4.5 inch blade. That's 11.5 centimeters, almost a 1-to-1 blade to handle ratio. 4.5 in the blade, 4 3/4 in the handle length, and that's what, 12.5 centimeters. 9.5 inches overall, at about 23.5 centimeters overall. Blade stock thickness, 168 thousandths. What is that in metric? I can't remember. I apologize, guys. 4.25 millimeters. Good Lord, that is some hefty blade stock right there on a 4.5 inch blade. And the reason I'm saying something about that is the behind the edge thickness on this well done secondary bevel, the edge bevel, 15 thousandths of an inch. 15 thousandths of an inch, that's like 0.3 something whatever millimeters, a third of a millimeter, and I triple checked it. It is so well done. The blade geometry on this knife, you've got this nice flat grind right here. It is not a full grind, but it is high enough on this stock thickness to get the behind the edge thickness down to 15 thousandths, making this thing a slicey performer. It's on the slicey side of being a full size fixed blade knife. Freaking fantastic design. We'll get into materials. 1095 Crovan. That stands for chrome vanadium. That is 1095. That is alloyed with chrome and vanadium, which 1095 is. It is a carbon steel. It will rust on you. You will typically see it with a coating on it. In this case, the black coating. 1095 is pretty doggone tough, meaning it can take impact without chipping. It tends to deform on the edge before it chips under moderate impact, as long as the edge thickness is thick enough to support that. On this knife with 15 thousandths behind the edge in 1095, especially in a sort of compact blade length, I probably wouldn't use it for chopping. It's going to be more of a cutting tool rather than a chopper. You will need to take care of that 1095, but the trade-off there is it's pretty easy to resharpen, although 1095, to me, it's got enough chromium in it, it's got enough wear resistance to it, to where it's starting to get to the point where it's not a joy to sharpen. Anybody that tells you 1095 is a joy to sharpen, they're just saying that they're comparing it to some super high wear resistant super steel. 1095 is a pretty stout steel, and a perfect choice for a utilitarian use outdoorsman's knife, because it does give you moderate, corrosion resistant, to where as long as you keep some oil on it, or a corrosion inhibitor, it's easy to take care of. It also gives you the toughness. It gives you some edge retention. You know what? It's a pretty decent steel. I like it. The handle materials are these injection molded polymer handle scales, which are absolutely a perfect design. They are absolutely a perfect design in my large hand with medium length chunky fingers. This is the fit. You can see excellent palm swell, totally three-dimensional ergonomic handles that are ultimate utilitarian, ultimate comfort, and only have one downside. It's the one downside of all the Becker knives, and that is the polymer material that is used here is slick. There's a couple of ways to fix that. You can take sandpaper and sand these handle scales to raise the handle scale, the surface, just a little bit, because they are fiber and reinforced polymer scales. You can add a little texture that way, or you can go aftermarket on these. Ka-Bar has Ka-Bar branded aftermarket canvas micarta scales for these knives, the shorty knives, in the Ka-Bar series, which includes, I think, the 15, 16, 17, 18. They also have micarta scales for the larger knives as well. They are reasonably priced at $35 on Amazon. They come in a tan color. They can be dyed with RIT dye, but the tan looks good on the black and the tan blade versions of this knife. The only shortcoming in these knives, as far as what they are, is the slickness of those handle scales. And you know what? They're so well shaped that even taking that into account, it's still so usable. So material-wise, I can't really argue with anything except the one argument I got with all the Becker knives, and that is that slickness. I'm going to slap some micarta scales on it. I'm going to dye them black, and I hope they turn out well, and they'll probably look fantastic. They're canvas micarta, so they'll feel fantastic. And even at a $35 further investment, that only puts me at about $125 total in on an American-made fixed blade in such a fantastic design, and that is still a smoking hot deal. Let's set this thing down. Let's bring the sheath out here. I love the sheath as well. It's a very basic but very well thought out, very well made. It is 2 injection molded halves that are riveted together. They are mirror halves. This can be flipped over for right or left hand carry. You're going to undo these 2 bolts right here. Just flip it over. You're good to go. You do have a strong primary retention. just like in a normal Kydex or injection molded sheath like this. You do have a firm secondary here with this button strap. There is absolutely no play when it is locked in. Even without the strap, that's just strap rattle. Now, I can grab the knife and barely move it around in there, but that's actually exerting external force to that, and all sheaths of this type will have play at that point. But to just, all right, that's at least as much as walking, and I had to get really firm with it there and really shake it to get any play. Excellent job on this sheath. Mirrored, easy to switch over. The belt loop is just about perfect. Reinforced, strong webbing, wide enough for a good size belt. The drop is just right. You can see this is going to drop down. Your belt's going to be here, so that this is going to be your handle height according to where your belt's going to be. That's a good drop, and this is a compact enough knife to where it's not so long from the handle down that you're going to need a retention strap on it. You've got your eyelets, you've got your slots here, tech lock it, molly lock it, just tie it off to your molly webbing, whatever. Numerous mounting options for this. It does have the drain hole that is molded into it, which you will need if you get a sheath that's wet on the inside with 1095 steel. Like I say, keep that stuff coated with something, because you will pick up moisture inside even this excellent sheath, guys. As a package, the BK18 is just so well done. It is the perfect size. It is thin behind the edge, yet has thick enough blade stock. Let's take a look at this very aggressive tip. It's very aggressive and acutely pointed, but it's not super thin out there. It is acutely pointed. It catches and pierces instantly on contact with very little pressure. This knife would be equally as good as a super badass spy guy knife fighting knife as it would be as a military utility knife, a campsite utility knife. It would phase over equally well for all of those uses. And you know what? If you're a super secret badass spy guy and you're going to be getting into knife fights every day, you know how important it is that not only the knife design lend itself to that use, but it look cool as well. There is no way I would ever get into a knife fight with a knife that didn't look cool. What if there is another knife enthusiast around and you pull out an ugly ass knife to get into a knife fight? There is no way you are going to earn maximum street cred points at that point. You're just not going to get it. It better look as cool as being ultimately utilitarian and useful, and that's what you get. All hyperbole aside, that's what you get in the BK18. Look again at that fit in my large hand with stubby, medium, fat fingers. Just look at that. Look at how close you are up to the edge of that blade. And let's look at that well done edge. That secondary bevel is so even. This knife is razor sharp. It came out of the package dangerously sharp. I mean, really sharp. Well done. We've got a serviceable sharpening choil here, although I personally would have gone a little more aggressive. I would have gone a little more aggressive in the diameter and the depth to get out a little bit more away from that plunge, but it's going to be workable here. It could be easily modified. This finish, you can see it's not scratched up yet. I haven't really used this out in the field, so I haven't scratched it up, and that's one of the main reasons we're doing a shorter video on this. But there you go, guys. Just a wonderful design with only one issue at all, easily fixed in the secondary market or with a little sandpaper to hit that slickness there. And there we go, the 15-minute mark here. Baz on Blades, quick look at the BK18, designed by Ethan Becker, produced by Ka-Bar Knives here in the United States, and a hell of a deal. Just go out and buy one. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.